For years, my daughter Olivia remained silent, speaking only in whispers and shy glances. I watched her grow, noticing the small gestures that hinted at her hidden thoughts. Every journal, sketch, and poem she secretly kept became a window into her heart. I never knew the depth of her silence until one evening changed everything. What she finally told me left my heart aching and overflowing with tears. It was a truth that revealed courage, trust, and a love I had never fully understood. From the very first day Olivia opened her eyes, I knew she was different. She did not cry loudly or fuss like other babies. Instead, she watched everything around her with quiet intensity. The sunlight falling across her crib, the gentle sway of the trees outside, even the faintest rustle of leaves caught her attention. I would sit beside her for hours, wondering what she was thinking. Sometimes, she would meet my eyes and smile faintly, as if to say, I am seeing the world in my own way. Mother. The villagers noticed her quiet nature too. She is so peaceful, they would say. Such a thoughtful child. Some expressed concern. Why doesn't she speak? But I knew better. Olivia's silence was not emptiness. It was a heart full of unspoken thoughts, feelings, and dreams, carried carefully within her. As she grew, her quiet nature remained. Teachers admired her intelligence, but noticed her reluctance to speak in class. She is thoughtful, one teacher said, but she keeps her thoughts to herself. At home, I tried everything to engage her. I read stories aloud, shared tales of brave heroes, clever foxes, and wise elders. Olivia, what do you think happens next? I would ask gently. She would glance at me, nod slightly, and return to her drawing. I began to notice the little things, the way she hummed softly while painting, the patterns she traced in the dust on the windowsill, the long moments she spent staring at the sky. Her silence was not absence, it was a way of learning, of observing the world deeply. I started keeping a journal, writing questions I hoped she might answer someday. What makes you happy, my dear? What do you dream about? Most pages remained blank, but I never gave up hope. Over the years, Olivia began keeping her own journals, sketching stories, and writing poems. Each note, each drawing, revealed a little piece of her heart. Sometimes it was a tree with roots deep in the ground and branches reaching for the sky. Sometimes a bird longing to fly. These were her messages, waiting for me to understand. Through all of this, I learned the most important lesson. Silence does not mean emptiness. Love waits. And one day, the heart speaks in ways more powerful than words. As Olivia grew older, her silence remained, but subtle signs began to appear. A tilt of her head, a pause in her steps, a soft hum while drawing all spoke volumes if one knew how to listen. I had missed many of these small clues in the past, but slowly I began to notice them. She would linger by the window, tracing the clouds with her eyes, lost in thought. Sometimes she wrote short notes and slipped them into my hands when I wasn't looking. At first, I thought they were simple doodles, innocent expressions of a quiet child. But as I read them carefully, I realized they were pieces of her inner world, a secret language she had been cultivating for years. There were poems about lonely birds, sketches of gardens that seemed to stretch endlessly, and tiny stories filled with imagination and longing. Each one revealed her sensitivity, her curiosity, and her deep reflections on life. I remembered mornings watching her at breakfast, quietly arranging the food, noticing patterns I had never seen. I had once dismissed it as idleness, but now I understood it was contemplative, way she processed the world around her. School continued to recognize her brilliance. Teachers praised her insight and creativity, yet even in class, she spoke only when she felt it was necessary. Choosing her words carefully, I learned to be patient, to observe, and to celebrate the smallest steps she took toward expression. One evening, I discovered a hidden stack of journals beneath her bed. Inside were drawings, poems, and reflections that revealed a mind full of thoughts she had never shared aloud. Tears filled my eyes as I read her words. How long had she been carrying all of this, silently? And yet, even in silence, she had grown courageous, thoughtful, and imaginative. From that day, I began to watch more closely, cherishing each small signal, every glance, every note, every quiet movement. Olivia's world was full of messages for me, if only I paid attention. And slowly, I began to realize the depth of her intelligence, her heart, and her trust. Through patience, love, and careful observation, I understood that silence is not absence. It is a space where the heart learns, waits, and prepares for the right moment to speak. The evening was calm, the golden light of sunset spilling across the village. Olivia approached me quietly, holding something close to her chest. Her eyes, usually observant and shy, now held a flicker of determination. "Mother," she whispered softly, "may we talk?" My heart leaped. For years, her silence had been a mystery, a puzzle I had tried to solve with patience and love. "Of course, my dear, you may tell me anything," I said, guiding her to sit beside me. Olivia took a deep breath, her small hands trembling slightly. "I've kept so many things inside," she began. "I didn't want to worry you. I didn't know how to tell you, but I cannot stay silent any longer." Her words were slow, careful, but full of meaning. I held her hands tightly, grounding her with warmth. "Oh, my sweet child, you could never burden me. I am here to listen, always." She spoke of the little fears she had carried for years, the moments she had cried quietly at night, the thoughts she had hidden in her journals and sketches. Each confession revealed the depth of her inner world, a place rich with imagination, sensitivity, and courage. She told me about the small victories she celebrated alone, the quiet ways she had learned about life, and the things she had longed to share but didn't know how. I realized that her silence had never been emptiness. It had been a protective shell, built to keep her feelings safe until she felt ready to share them. "Mother," she whispered, "I was afraid my words would not matter, but I trust you now." Tears filled my eyes. I hugged her tightly, feeling the weight of years of quiet emotions release into the open. "You are so brave, Olivia," I said. "Thank you for trusting me. I promise I will always be here to listen, to love, and to guide you." For the first time, Olivia spoke freely about her dreams, her fears, her hopes for the future. We talked long into the evening, her words flowing slowly but steadily, each one a revelation of the beautiful, thoughtful person she had become. Her journals, sketches, and poems were no longer hidden. We read them together, laughed, cried, and reflected on the journey she had silently traveled. That night, under the soft glow of the lamp, I realized the most profound truth. Children do not always speak their hearts immediately. Sometimes they wait, they observe, they test the world, and when the moment is right, they reveal themselves in ways that leave you humbled, amazed, and full of love. Olivia's courage had created a bridge between her silent heart and mine. Through patience, love, and trust, our bond deepened in ways I had never imagined. And that night, for the first time in years, I felt the fullness of my daughter's voice, not just in words, but in trust, in honesty, and in the quiet strength of her heart. That night, after Olivia had shared the deepest corners of her heart, the house was quiet. The gentle crackle of the fireplace and the soft whisper of the wind through the trees filled the room. The mother held her daughter close, feeling the tremor of released emotions in Olivia's small frame. For years, she had wondered about the thoughts her daughter carried silently. Now, the truth lay before her. Fragile yet profound tears ran down the mother's face, not only of sorrow, but also of gratitude, pride, and overwhelming love. Gratitude for Olivia's trust, pride in her courage, and love that had grown deeper through years of patience. Motherhood, she realized, was not just guiding a child through life, it was waiting, listening, being present, and loving unconditionally until the heart chose to open. In the days that followed, life settled into a gentle rhythm, filled with small, shared discoveries. Olivia began expressing herself in tiny ways through words, sketches, and poems she shared openly. Each gesture strengthened their bond and brought warmth to their home. The mother cherished every small step: a drawing shown, a poem read aloud, a quiet confession of a hidden fear. Every moment became a thread weaving trust and understanding. One afternoon, walking through the village, Olivia paused to watch children playing. Her eyes shone with curiosity and wonder, and the mother felt a deep sense of recognition. Olivia was learning slowly, carefully, courageously, and her confidence grew with each gentle step. Evenings became a time for reflection, reading, painting, and watching the sky turn amber and violet. Silence no longer felt empty. Instead, it became a space for connection, empathy, and love. There were moments of hesitation, shyness, or quiet anxiety, but the mother's gentle reassurance made all the difference. "It's all right, my child. Take your time. You are never alone." Through patience and steadfast love, Olivia's voice became clearer. She shared her thoughts, hopes, and fears more freely. Laughter returned to her eyes. One evening, beneath the old oak tree in their garden, Olivia turned to her mother. "Mother, Thank you for always waiting, for listening, and for loving me all this time." The mother hugged her tightly, whispering, "And thank you, Olivia, for trusting me. I will always be here to listen, to love, and to guide you, no matter what comes." In that embrace, a silent promise was made, a promise to carry them through joys and challenges, a bond of trust, understanding, and unbreakable love. Nights that followed were gentle and peaceful, filled with quiet conversations and shared stories. Olivia's once silent heart had found its voice, and her mother's heart was rewarded with understanding. Through this journey, the mother learned a universal truth: children do not always need solutions to their struggles. They need presence, observation, listening, and unconditional love. Olivia's courage and her mother's patience created a bridge spanning years of silence, transforming quiet into a symphony of understanding. As time moved forward, Olivia continued to grow. Her creativity blossomed, and her spirit shone brightly. Each day became a testament to patience, empathy, and unwavering love. Mother and daughter walked together, hand in hand, heart to heart, carrying lessons of silence, the strength of trust, and the enduring warmth of love. Their story would be remembered, told, and cherished for generations to come.